men's horizontal bar final, and the top performer in qualification, the gymnast who occupies the anti-penultimate position in the starting order, Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, the reigning World Universities champion and the Asian champion to boot. The second best performer in qualification, Chiba Kenta, will go right before him. I was talking about entertainers, one of the most entertaining in the world. Now Kuavita. It's just one of life's little pleasures, isn't it, watching Kuavita on the horizontal bar. Should be mandatory viewing on a rainy day, because it will always lift the spirit. It's one of gymnastics' most exciting things when Noah Kuavita hits that dismount on the horizontal bar. Nice that we're going to see Wang Mingqi in this final, having performed ever so well to take silver on vault. We'll bring you all of the award ceremonies at the close of play. The next World Cup competition is in Antalya, in Turkey, which was the place that hosted the Junior Championships of the World in 2023. That is the weekend after next. Then we move on to Osijek, Doha and Cairo, all in April.
Please welcome Latvia.
Then there will be 3 stops in the spring and summer, moving just into the autumn in the World Challenge Cup series of artistic gymnastics. We begin with Richards Plate from Latvia. He's 21 and he was 4th on the horizontal bar at the Junior European Championships in 2020. He's always had a good relationship with this piece. Qualified for the World Championships in 2023 as one of the top 8 performers at World Cup level on the horizontal bar in the season leading up to it, so should be comfortable here. He was the 6th best in qualifying. This is nicely controlled so far. Does get his big release move performed with accuracy. Perfectly tidy start that from Richards Plate of Latvia. Undergraduate in electrical engineering at the Technical University of Riga. He was the flag bearer in the opening ceremony at the World University Games in China. 2023, those delayed games. Coleman chosen as his release element. From a difficulty standpoint, this is what we expect to be one of the lower scoring routines in the final, but strange things happen sometimes in horizontal bar finals. If the first gymnast just goes through nice and cleanly, the podium. He has gone through cleanly, 12.733. His execution is up by about 3/10 from qualifying. Now, Plate had a difficulty of 4.2. Noah Kuavita in qualifying had a difficulty of 5.8. He was the 4th best in the preliminary round. The Olympian from Paris. Always entertain. Lots of power. Casina. Oh, yes. Laid out. Body in a nice straight position. And then a Kachev. First straddle. And then varies it. Here we go. Oh! Well, there are very few who can dismount like that. Really packs in the rotations in the pike position. Gets an extra one compared to most. Yes, that difficulty-wise will be right up there, one imagines. Turns 26 in a few months' time. He's got a powerful swing. He gets a real sense of kinetic energy. Yeah, that spectacular pike position dismount. Chance Plate on 12.733. Kuavita scored 13.433 in the qualification phase. Yes, absolutely. Mark of an Olympian. Tattoo that so many sport with absolute pride, as they should. He qualified through actually the parallel bars route to get to the Olympic Games. That was at the World Championships. So quite a wait for Kuavita's score. I'll just remind you that we have a new code of points, so it's understandable that some of the early judging processes will be a bit slower than later on in the season. We have to give judges time, just as we have to give gymnasts and coaches time to get used to the new code of points. We all have to take time to get used to it. So, an amount of superintendence of this score going on. But at some point before the weekend's over, we'll bring it to you. It's worth waiting for, isn't it? 13.966. He's gained an extra 10th in difficulty. The execution's gone way up. So over half a mark gained by Kuavita. That's a medal contending performance. The bold Belgian. Wang Mingqi of the People's Republic of China scored 13.4 in qualifying. He's already managed to get onto the vault podium today. gentleman with a powerful and fast swing, yes. Well, he's got some really interesting release and regrasp work. He's got very good form as he performs it. Just, yeah, had some issues there, unfortunately. And all of that just leads into a loss of line on the Kachev. Something was not quite as it should have been for Wang Mingqi after those release and regrasps. It's unfortunate because it started really compellingly. Dismounts well. It had some very good components to it. Unfortunately, full mark clearly will be deducted, and some other issues too. Nonetheless, we're going to see him on the podium later. We're going to see if his excellent vaulting, really world-class vaulting from Wang Mingqi. Still can't quite believe we saw him perform that Yang Hak-song vault so well. Doesn't he have nice extension though in his work on the horizontal bar? An example of it. Sense of a loss of the desired swingfulness. He had that problem with the Kachev. So it's 11.6 for Wang Mingqi. He's lost a little difficulty too.
Please welcome
Georgian Ioane Jimshelishvili, 7th best performer in qualification. This was an extremely well executed routine. It's simple in terms of difficulty, but it was performed with delightful clarity in qualification, and that's always nice to watch. That occasion, unfortunately, attempting the Kovac, he just drifts away. He has made a World Cup final before on the horizontal bar. Kachev, the straddle version, the most commonly associated particular group of skills. Quite nice looking close control work as well. He dismounts with a certain style. Another routine where either side of the unintentional dismount in the apparatus. It was good to watch.
Gymnast, your program time starts now.
Will still be Kuavita leading at the halfway stage. So let's have a look back at this performance of the 25-year-old from Tbilisi, Jimsheli. There's his two Kachevs. Fantastic work on the body. After this, we'll be at the halfway stage of the final. We still have the top 3 performers in qualification all to come. 11.4 for Olly Jimsheli. 3.8 difficulty, exactly the same as qualification. The last couple of warm-ups in progress now. Nice moment for this gentleman, Ivan Tikhonov from Azerbaijan. He always says how much he loves performing in this space, the national arena for gymnastics. He is the outlier from the qualification sense in terms of the second half of the final, because we've got the first, second and third qualifiers and the 8th best qualifier. But that number produced by Noah Kuavita is a compelling one, 13.966. If everything stays as it did in qualification, and come along now, it's a men's horizontal bar final, so it's unlikely to do that. But if it does, just humour me, then Kuavita's score of 13.966 would give him the silver medal. And that is from a position of qualifying 4th. So he has really raised the level in the final. But we often see increases to difficulty in a men's horizontal bar final. It's that interesting risk-reward gamble that all gymnasts have to play. Do they really go for something? How much do they go for it in qualification, just to be sure of a place in the final without taking needless risks? Chiba Kenta from Osaka in Japan, 28-year-old team champion of the world, part of the reigning World Championship winning Japanese team. He's also been a World Universities team champion and an Asian Games medalist, both with the team and individually. Second best in qualifying, 13.733. That's a big Coleman to open. Very nice pirouette across the park. Oh, lovely dismount! Wasn't that delightful? Now his difficulty, one of the lower difficulty scores of all of the qualifiers, but I think you can tell why he had such a high execution score in the preliminary stage. That's very nice, but it's actually not really the show stealer from an execution standpoint. It's the closer work that he does to the apparatus, and it's so often the component that you don't notice when watching the horizontal bar, but it's so vital that the gymnast doesn't just do spectacular release moves and then have it performed around a hastily cobbled together sequence of awkward bits of gymnastics. They've got to make the whole thing look fluid and poised, and he does do that. He's got good toe point, he extends the body well. I think that's pretty as a picture. Very nice pirouetting work. It is vital that the gymnast establish a full, clean handstand position. They get the body right up to a vertical position, and then not a hint of movement on the landing. 13.933. He almost surpasses Kuavita despite having a full mark of difficulty less than him. That's how good the execution was, 8.933. Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, top qualifier. Here we go, 14.166. The reigning World University Games champion, and he's also the reigning champion of Asia. This man performs great work on the horizontal bar. He's a pleasure to watch. That's lovely. It's a full twist in. Oh, he's wild on the casino and he's off. That set the cat among the pigeons in terms of the likely champion here in Baku. I would say that is now very likely to guarantee Noah Kuavita a place on the podium. Time he does do the casino, connected into the column. Oh, and it's a very nice dismount. Well, look, it's the early days of the season. These things happen. There's certainly a lot in there, difficulty-wise. For those of you who are just becoming reacquainted perhaps with artistic gymnastics or wanting to get to know it a little better following the Olympiad, an interesting thing to watch for in horizontal bar work is that linking of elements, where a gymnast goes from one release and regrasp straight through into another. That's a very good thing for their difficulty score. It's more beneficial than if they take an intermediary swing before performing the second release move. Obviously it carries with it great risk because you don't have that time just to breathe and to set yourself. You've got to really be spot on in your alignment. Nice to watch that dismount again. He's got medals from all over the place, Milad Karimi. How special to get onto a World Championship podium in Antwerp in the floor competition in 2023. Added to his World Universities honours, he's got a full set of colours at the World University Games, including that title won on the horizontal bar in Chengdu, the last medal event of the entire Games. The Chinese fans, I was privileged to be there in the arena commentating it, they were astounded by his work. He got a roar almost to rival the Chinese gymnasts. Lots of honours at the Asian Championships as well, and he's in the bronze medal position with 13.833, despite that issue. That's how good it was from an execution standpoint, and how much difficulty there was. Now to Ivan Tikhonov of Azerbaijan. 8th best in qualifying, 12.2. We're likely to see a lower amount of difficulty, a lesser amount of difficulty here. Oh my goodness, he was a touch wild. Real loss of form. Back he'll go. Tikhonov. Here we go again. That time he makes the Coleman work. And then the Kovac. Kachev skill. Followed by a nicely performed straddle Kachev. That had a little more flair to it. Unfortunate that he had that problem right at the beginning. And then the hands go down at the end. Oh, one of those days, sadly, for Azerbaijan's Ivan Tikhonov. He has full colours from the most recent edition of the Islamic Solidarity Games. That actually took place the edition before that in Baku. The gymnastics competitions happened in this building. The games at which he was successful were in Turkey. His capture phase of the routine with the pint version. To employ the straddle Kachev. Comes. .233.
Police
the last to go. Natsumi Kazuki of Japan, 13.7 in qualifying. Needs to be a little stronger than that to get onto the podium. 13.833, that's Milad Karimi, holds bronze. Chiba Kenta, 13.933, silver. And 30.966, Belgium's Noah Kuavita. Casina keeps the swingfulness and the Coleman. Just gets clearance on the straight Kachev. Difficult to do that with the straight body position and the straddle version. It's pirouetting as well. There's a lot going on here. that's a superb ending. Great conclusion to the final from Matsumi Kazuki. He won the silver medal at this World Cup in 2023 on the horizontal bar. Back at the routine from a different angle, seeing the Casina. Then it's Coleman. Interesting variation on the Kovac. Oh, that straight catcher. Good job he clipped his toenails this morning. It's a very good case made though by Matsumi Kazuki to push for the podium. He's only gone and won it, 14.1. An 8.6 execution score. The second highest execution score of the entire final. Noah Kuavita finishing in second place. The classified results in the men's horizontal bar final. Bronze to Chiba Kenta of Japan. Belgium's Noah Kuavita wins silver, and right at the end with the last performance of the entire World Cup weekend, Matsumi Kazuki of Japan is your champion. We just ponder that display from Milad Karimi, that finished in fourth position despite not staying on the apparatus for the whole time. So just think about the scoring potential that there is in that routine. It was the most difficult one. Karimi 6.0. The victory ceremony for the men's horizontal bar competition. The Baku World Cup taking place at the National Gymnastics Arena in Azerbaijan. The bronze medal won by Chiba Kenta of Japan. Just ahead of him, Noah Kuavita of Belgium. He wins the silver medal, and the title won by the gymnast who performed last, Matsumi Kazuki, the Japanese gymnast, taking gold with a score of 14.1.
Please stand and show your respect for the national anthem of Japan. Congratulations!
Teşekkür ederim.
The medalists in the men's horizontal bar competition at the Baku World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics. And that brings to a close our coverage of the Baku World Cup. The World Cup season well and truly underway now. Next stop will be Antalya in Turkey in a couple of weeks' time.